Okay, guys, so it took me like forever to get this done, but this is finally the final matches for the PEMDAS Draft League, and I know this happened a couple of months ago, so this is like very late. But I decided to finally get it done today since I had some time. I've just been kind of busy recently, and I think I'm gonna get some more videos out on the channel. So yeah, hopefully this is interesting. This should be exciting. I have been told that these games are very interesting, but I have not seen them until now. So it's a little bit late, but we'll see how it goes. Okay. So leads out with Flygon. He turns out from the Oh, interesting. So that was not Flygon, that was Zoroark. Now the real Flygon got hit by the Ice Fan. So they get screens up here. Mawile comes in. What set up the screens? I was not paying attention. Oh, the Blissey set up the screens. Gets roared out by the Aerodactyl. Into this, Rotom. Rotom is Zoroark? Now I'm kind of confused on who's Zoroark and who's not. Zoroark tricks the Rocky Helmet. Oh, so he just got nothing. He just took the Rocky Helmet. Interesting. Blissey comes in on this. Zoroark is asleep. Blissey is kind of tanking this, but Blissey's kind of just handling Tangrowth now. Yeah, Blissey's just setting up the screens. Now Mawile comes in again. It pretty much gets to set up again. I'm pretty sure this can't take it out. Yeah, it doesn't have anything to take it out with. So Mawile now has screens up. It gets another Sword Stance up. Pretty interesting. Now for the Sucker Punch does not kill. Now a critical hit on the Giga Drain. Sucker Punch now kills. Mawile is very low. Shadow Sneak finished off the Mawile. So that could have been interesting because the Mawile could have swept. But those crits with the Giga Drain kind of threw it off. Zoroark still with the illusion. Now gets knocked out. Crobat comes in here. Now this is looking a pretty difficult game for Slacker right now. I don't think he has much sweepers or breakers to beat Muck, but those crits on the Giga Drain really took care of Mawile. I think maybe he shouldn't have gone for Sucker Punch there. I think he should have just gone for like a Play Rough. I think he was probably faster than the Tangrowth, but I'm not sure. Because from there, he probably had enough health to just stay healthy for the rest of the game. Blissey is healing itself here, trying to basically stall out, but I mean, there's not much that can be done. And the Muck just tanking here. It goes down, but I think the Arcanine, yeah, the Arcanine, and I know this is Banded Arcanine, so I'm pretty sure this just one-shots everything here. It actually goes for the Wild Charge instead of the Flare Blitz. Here he probably just swaps to reset his band. And here the Aerodactyl can probably just finish things off with misses the dual wing beat. Blissey tries to hang on with the Reflex, but takes a little bit of damage here. The light screen's still up. I think the Aerodactyl is just trying to chip Blissey at this point, trying to get low for another Mon to come in. Because the Aerodactyl's pretty much gone. Okay, so Scolipede comes in and he can't Toxic this. So Scolipede just basically has to set up as much as it wants. Yeah. Okay, so that was an interesting game, I think. It was unfortunate a bit on the Tangrowth situation, but that was interesting. Okay, so this should be um, Sketchfellow versus Slacker. Um, I think he finally changed his team. I don't remember Morpeko being on the original team. But he gets tricked by Zoroark. Now has the choice scarf. How did he lose? He lost the focus sash. This thing goes for the Super Fang on Blissey. Blissey Toxics. Walrein? I forget that Pokemon's name. Blissey just setting up the screens again. Just getting worn down by Toxic. Mawile gets to come in again. Do its thing. The Super Fang, of course, doing a lot. Doing exactly half. But now Mawile gets to set up Sword Stance. Finish it off with the Sucker Punch. I wonder if Mawile can actually... Okay, Auto Wheel does not do much here. Goes for the Play Rough. I wonder if Mawile can actually sweep from here. Scissor comes... I think this is Bullet Punt range. Okay, but just decides to be safe. But Sax Flygon actually interesting. I would have probably gone into Rotom, but... Wow. You guys heard of Zoroark, too. Into Rotom. Swaps it out. Hydro Pump. Does not do a lot to... do Rattle. I'm forgetting all these Pokemon's names. The Hydro Pump's actually doing a lot more than I thought it would. Draco Meteor predicting Mawile again, trying to hit the Mawile but does nothing. Psychic Fangs finishes off Duraludon, but at this point, this looks like a Scizor sweep with Bullet Punch. Oh, interesting. Rotom actually keeps a lot of its health. I wonder if he goes for Pain Split here. Gets itself back. The only thing really stopping Scizor right now is that Rotom. But we'll see how things go. So he kind of has to go Rotom here. I wonder if he... Okay, now he knocks off. Essentially, just getting rid of Rotom here. I think he has to... he Plane Splits here. I would have thought he would have to. Actually, that makes sense. But, and now the Thunderbolt finishes off. And I think... Okay. That happens, but I think at this point... Scizor just finishes off the game unless this lives. So it lives, but I think the Brave Bird does not kill. Yep. So that was close, but yeah, this Choice Band Scizor has basically been a threat the whole tour, and it's pretty powerful Mon. Choice Band Scizor is not to be underestimated. The Bullet Punch hits very hard. So on to the next game. So this is Cheese Buff versus Sketchfellow. So this should be interesting. Cheese Buff's team is very strong. He knows how to use Aggron very, very well. Normally I would say Mega Aggron is one of the weaker Megas, but whenever Cheese Buff is using it, it's very, very strong. Sash comes into its favor here. Aura Wheel does not do a lot to Salamence, but increases its speed. Switches back into the other one. Ice Fang does a lot to Salamence. Salamence flinches. Unfortunate. Salamence switches out into Aggron. Ice Fang does basically nothing. Aw, man, that sucks. Aggron, Parting Shot. Wonder what Aggron does here. Curse, maybe a Curse. Plus defense. But Walrein here, probably going for the Super Fang. Goes for the Body Press. Misses out on the KO. Super Fang gets Aggron down really low. Aggron rests up. Switches out into Pyukumuku. Into the Super Fang. Pyukumuku, I wonder what it can do here. I think it would just go for a Toxic, but... Yup, Scizor's still here. I don't think there's much Scizor does to Pyukumuku. Knocks off Pyukumuku, which actually does a lot. Pyukumuku keeps recovering, but now without the leftovers, it's kind of weak. Super Fang chipping the Pyukumuku, another Toxic into Walrein. While Walrein keeps Super Fanging, Pyukumuku is just going to recover it off. Okay, so it's just going to stall out the Walrein. Walrein dies. Into Pyukumuku. Actually, what's this thing? Morpeko. Morpeko goes for the Aura Wheel into Sylveon. Switches into the other form. Parting Shots out. I wonder if Sylveon just goes for the Wish here and tries to heal something. I wonder what it's going to try to heal. It heals itself. Sees the Thunderbolt. And I think it's a Scarf. Duraludon. It swaps out. I wonder if... Okay, I don't think that lives the Bullet Punch. Knocks off again, does not do much to Pukumuku. Pukumuku goes for that recover. So I'm thinking that this does not have a... I don't think it has soak, because I feel like he would have gone for it earlier. Golurk immune to the Thunderbolt. That's pretty much a free Earthquake right here. Goes for the Dynamic Punch instead. Probably expected the other guy to come in, the Duraludon. Confused, Pikamuku unaware, even if that Feraligatr tries to set up, it won't do anything. Scizor goes for the dual Wing Beat. Now, okay, so he does have the soak, but it's a little bit late now. Intimidates the Scizor, dual Wing Beat, misses onto the Salamence. Salamence probably roosts here, yeah, roosts here. Afraid the Draco Meteor, switches into Sylveon. Correctly calls Draco Meteor. Sylveon here probably wishes. Okay, Heal Bells. Heals the Agrons from its sleep. Feraligatr Dragon Dances here. Wishes. Probably goes into Pikamuku. Does it? Okay, it does live. And this is really bad for Sketchula because Pikamuku is unaware. So he does realize it's unaware. Swaps out into Duraludon. Swaps Pikamuku into Golurk. I wonder if he calls it. Goes for the Draco Meteor. But it's now weak. Draco Meteor finishes off Golurk. Now he goes into Mega Aggron. Probably curses here. Yep. Liquidation does basically nothing. Body Press does misses out on the KO. I think he probably rests here. Yep, he rests. Does he have Leaf Sleep Talk? I don't think he does. I think it's just Curse, Body Press, Rest, and probably Heavy Slam if I had to guess. Soaks for Alligator does nothing. Probably predicted the switch. Misses the Toxic. For Alligator, not doing much to Pikamuku because of the unaware. Recovers it off. Ice Punch does nothing. I think he's not going for a freeze. Now finally Toxics. Takes out for Alligator. Probably goes into Regieleki. Swaps into Appleton. Volt Switch does not a lot. Into Morpeko, barely alive. Ice Fang does not do enough to Appleton, but it flinches. Into Sylveon, goes for the Ice Fang, misses. Sylveon goes for Morpeko parting shots into Regieleki. Sylveon goes for the Hyper Voice, does half to Regieleki. Regieleki Volt Switch does a lot to Sylveon into Duraludon, which Hyper Voices, which does a lot to Duraludon. Sylveon protects here to see what it's going for. It goes for Steel Beam, and actually this is a cool thing about Steel. Well, not really cool, but if you protect on Steel Beam, you'll still take the damage. So, that was really unfortunate there. He just wishes here. He's probably going to protect here if I had to guess. Oh, takes the hit. Goes with a Hyper Voice. Heals off Sylveon. Okay. He still got Scizor though, and Scizor's still a pretty big threat. So Scizor just finishes off Sylveon here. Goes into Aggron. Aggron actually can deal with both of these mons quite well. So, no way! Oh, that is insane. He goes for the Electro Ball and one hit KOs Aggron. I would have thought the Thunderbolt would have done nothing, but he goes for the Electro Ball and just destroys Aggron. So I think maybe Sketchfellow can win this from here. That is insane. Absolutely brutal. Dual Wing Beat, I think it's not doing enough for Salamence. So Salamence is going to keep roosting, getting itself healthy enough to where it can Dragon Dance. Swaps out the Regieleki. That was a pretty good play, because now I'm pretty sure he cannot afford to go for the Dragon Dance. Voltus is out into Appleton. Goes back into Scizor. Appleton goes into Salamence. I would have not done that. I would have sacked Pikamuku, to be honest. Knocks off the Heavy Duty Boots. Locked into Knockoff now. Knockoff should not do a lot here. So now he's free to set up a Dragon Dance. But now the question is Dragon Dance Salamence fast and regular? Like, it is not fast. They're critical hits. The Salamence knocks it out. Goes into Scizor. Goes into Pikamuku. Pikamuku recovers off, but at this point, Regieleki probably just... Regieleki and Scizor just handle the whole team. Dual Wing Beats, who doesn't even go to the second hit. One hit KOs the Appleton. Pukumuku cannot do anything to Regieleki. Gets thunderbolted. That's funny because that was really RNG based. I feel like if those crits hadn't happened, if the Electro Ball was pretty cool, but if those crits hadn't happened, um, that would have been a completely different game. Well, I guess that's just how the cookie crumbles on the Super Bowl day, but that was interesting. Um, at this point, they already won the whole tournament because they won 3 out of the 4, and there was going to be a fifth match, but I think it did happen, but I don't know what happened to the replay because at the 3 out of 4, like it was basically guaranteed that they would win. But technically, there was a fifth match if there needed to be a tiebreaker. But at this point, the team Rough and Tumble of Sketchfellow and Zombone or a Bach Trotter, can't remember what his username was. They won. These were some interesting games. I feel like a lot of them were kind of RNG based, but very interesting. So this is the last game we have here, and it's Cheese against Zombone. Well, so we'll see how it goes, cause RNG is definitely something. Ice Fangs into Aggron. Aggron probably Mega Evolves and goes for a Curse if I had to guess. Earthquake does nothing. Just straight up goes for the Heavy Slam to get rid of Aerodactyl. This thing comes in. Appleton comes in. Sleep Powder does nothing to Appleton. Appleton gets knocked off. Loses its Lumberry. Interesting. Apple Acids. The Hang Growth. Sludge Bomb does a lot. Appleton goes for the Draco Meteor. Knocks out the Hang Growth. Interesting. Appleton is now very low. Galvantula is free to do what it wants. Bug Buzzes does not do a lot. Even through the crit does not do a lot to Sylveon, but it does lower the special defense. Thunder does a pretty good amount. Hyper Voice does 70% with Galvantula. This maybe KOs, it does not KO. Goes for the Wish. Probably protects here, I would guess. Protects. And we're probably seeing a swap from Cheese Buff here. Maybe no swap. Interesting. Just goes for the Hyper Voice to take out Galvantula very early on. Goes into Scolpede. Goes into Salamence. Lowers its attack. Scolpede just goes for the Poison Jab. Trying to finish off Sylveon. Now goes for the Sword Stance. A little bit of increase. Dragon Dance is up. Now it's interesting. So who's fast? He goes for the Sword Stance. I think that was a mistake, because now the Salamence finishes it off. It's not Moxie, but at this point, this is probably enough to take care of. Swaps out into the Aggron, but he gets frozen. Aggron is frozen solid, cannot do anything. Close combat does a lot to Aggron. Probably stays frozen. Aggron stays frozen. Swaps into Muck, stays frozen. Muck knocks off, unfreezes Aggron. Aggron goes for the rest. Now Arcanine comes back in. Goes for the Flare Blitz with Stab now. But Aggron is still asleep. Flare Blitz knocks out Aggron. Salamence now comes in. Lowers attack on that. Dragon Dance is up. I wonder if he outright just barely misses the KO. Goes for the knockoff. Knocks off the Heavy Duty Boots. Shadow Sneak does not kill Salamence. Outrage finishes off Muck. And at this point, Arcanine cannot possibly beat the entire team. Slugged into Extreme Speed. Goes into Golurk. Extreme Speed cannot do anything. Golurk just Earthquakes here. So this is more kind of the gameplay that I expect from Cheese, but still a lot of crazy stuff this game. So that freeze was definitely not expected. That usually does not happen. Freezing Pokemon is a very rare status condition, but it happened this game. But Cheese still won. Just interesting that it happened. So yeah, that's the end of the league. Maybe later we'll have more tournaments and stuff like that planned, but should have probably just put this out a lot earlier, but I guess it's over now. Well, thanks for watching, guys. Egg out.